Michael Saylor wants to go on Joe Rogan and talk BTC. I mean, he wants to convert more of Joe Rogan's millions and millions of listeners to buy BTC. Meanwhile, at XRP Las Vegas, Brad says, can't we all get along? And says that the XRP and BTC communities should work together and not be enemies. What the hell is going on? Did I just wake up in Bizarro World? May had a bunch of crypto hacks. Well, how many? We'll talk about it. Speaking of many, we'll talk XRP price action along with...
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
We got some mixed results up on the screen, and we know how important Joe Rogan can be with the influence of millions and millions of people. So what would happen if Saylor went on to Joe Rogan? Would Rogan be able to chew through Saylor and expose him for what he is? Or would Saylor be able to convert even more to the BTC maxes? But before we get into the price action, you know the deal. Your comments come first. Hot, spicy, naughty, relevant. Maybe I'll share it at the beginning of next video. By the way, check out my screen in the bottom. Look what I'm eating this morning. Cold pizza with some garlic butter dipping sauce. Why? Because we beat Papa John's. Now, Roy, XRP Warrior, says Pop-Tarts. And I'm like, pizza, not Pop-Tarts? And he's like, no. Pop-Tart should be the next one that you take down. They've got 49,000 subs. We've got 46,505. They got 49,100. Let me know who's the foodie we should take down next. Pop-Tarts isn't that bad of a one, dude. I like your idea, but let me know. Trick says, hey, he has a better chance of doing a double backward somersault in the phone box than becoming the Irish president, the little twat, talking about Conor McGregor. My thinking is if Conor McGregor were to ever sneeze, the world would be covered in 6 inches of snow. Ooh, a little naughty morning humor here from Klaus. Devin DeBausch says, Klaus, I hope I run into you one day so I can give you the biggest handshake. Bravo for your amazing work. There's a lot of you out there that I would love to give a good handshake to, a good golf clap to, and, well, a good Bitcoin sitting at 104,931 ETH, 2515, XP at 215, while BNB's at 655. Market's a little choppy right now. Waiting to see what futures come out with. Also going to be looking at the commodities market tonight. Saylor shoots his shot for Rogan spot. Let's talk about Bitcoin. An appearance from Michael Saylor on the Joe Rogan Experience would shatter the internet, according to a Bitcoiner. That's right, Saylor shot his shot. Strategy co-founder Michael Saylor has publicly expressed his interest in discussing Bitcoin with podcaster Joe Rogan, the world's most listened to podcast. This is what Saylor said on X. And by the way, it's all linked in the description below. Hey, Joe Rogan, let's talk Bitcoin. The thing is, I don't know. I'm sure a lot of you do listen to Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan can cut through people's bullshit. That's why he does super long form content without teleprompters. That's why Cam didn't want to go on the Joe Rogan show, because Cam can only function with teleprompters. And gotta be honest with you, Rogan has been able to break a few people down that have been able to screw people over in the past. Yeah. So, would you like to see Saylor on Rogan, or do you think Saylor will be able to convince more people into Maxiism? That's Bitcoin Maxiism. May's crypto hacks total $250 million. Sweet and Cletus claw back. They're 157 million. I got a weird stat here for you. Not a weird one, probably a bad one. Despite the major absolute losses, May figures are an improvement over the previous month's context of 2025 security losses. More than 1.6 billion worth of crypto was stolen in the first quarter this year. Holy shit. Additionally, PeckShield said that almost 92% of the losses at the time were caused by the Bybit vulnerability. Okay. Look, you see how a lot of crypto is right up on the screen? You know how like a lot of stuff hasn't pumped? You want a job? You want a way to make money in crypto? Be a freaking hacker. No, all kidding aside, yeah, this is pretty bad. This month recorded roughly 20 major incidents with the coordinated recovery efforts successfully freezing stolen assets. Yeah, some of the stuff was stolen, but some of the stuff is just gone. This article basically goes over all the big ones. Thought I would share it with you again. It's linked in the description below. Now, world is frozen. Totally, hell is frozen over. All of a sudden, the globe has turned flat. All of a sudden, the White Sox now are the best team in baseball. The Bears are the best team in football. This is nuts. Gary Gensler is the best person walking the earth. What the f*** is going on? Bitwise, Ripple, or first this one. Ripple and Bitwise to an XRP community with an unexpected support for Bitcoin. Okay, listen to this. On the same occasion, Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, suggested that those in the Bitcoin community should not be treated as rivals. This shift in his comments signal a different approach than seen before, when fights over Bitcoin effects on electricity use and his influence separated the groups. Okay, so is Brad caving in? Is Brad sitting here going, yo, first we're going to give you the Satoshi Bitcoin head, and now we're saying, look, let's stop fighting and let's be friends? Larson also recognized that Bitcoin has recently made progress regarding its environmental impact. He argued that reports show that more than half the Bitcoin mining currently depends on renewable power sources. Whoa. Mind you, he previously, we're talking about Larson, backed a Greenpeace campaign against the energy-consuming nature of Bitcoin's proof-of-work system. People in charge of Bitcoin questioned Larson's real intentions for stepping down, showing that his actions did not address the main problems. Check this out. Ripple's Brad Garlinghouse has called for an end to the ongoing conflict between BTC and XRP communities. Do you think Saylor is saying that? No, Saylor is saying BTC and that's it. Screw the alts. That's what Saylor's saying. Yet Brad is saying, no, I think we should be friends. Garlinghouse made the statement while addressing attendees at XRP Las Vegas, which did jack shit for the price. According to a post, this is what Garlinghouse said: rewriting the entire banking system, and we underestimate how big that change is, emphasizing the scale transformation Ripple aims to deliver. Basically saying, we need to work together. What is going on here, everyone? Does Brad fear that he can't do this without the support of Bitcoiners? Saylor doesn't want XRP support. Saylor, at every turn he gets, if you go to Saylor's thing, and let me do this, all right? We're going to go here to Saylor. If you go to any post on Saylor, all he talks about is it's only Bitcoin. Even kids know there's no second best. Everybody in the world wants Bitcoin. Waking up in an orange world. Bitcoin is money. Everything else is credit. Like, you see what I'm saying? All this dude talks about is Bitcoin, 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 and everything else sucks balls. See what I'm saying? No tariffs on Bitcoin. Bitcoin this, Bitcoin that. No one has ever lost money at Bitcoin. Get in the car. Why? Why Bitcoin? Like, you see what I'm saying? And now all of a sudden, Garlinghouse is like, yo, we need to work together to change things. Dude, this is dangerous, and this is a slippery slope. Unless I'm totally misinterpreting this somehow, so let me know in the comments down below. But I find this weird, because look, it seems as if Brad has caved in to the BTC power. But Saylor is sitting here going, yo, screw off, and now I want to go on to Rogan to convince more people about BTC. Overall crypto market volume heavily slumped. We know how that goes on the weekends, right? Down 34% to 84 billion. Altcoins did jump a little bit here to 22 out of 100, which is really nice. Volume, like I talked about, whatever. Look, that's just what it's going to be on the weekends. XRP price, for everyone out there that said it's going to rocket during XRP Las Vegas, you definitely get the retard award for the day. We did get some lows earlier in the morning. We've kind of rebounded since, but they're a very soft rebound based on crappy volume. Volume for XRP down 44%. So again, once XRP Las Vegas is over, players are like, oh, okay, so it was a big nothing burger instead of news and developments. But how many people out there are like, bro, there's going to be a mega announcement from XRP Las Vegas, bro. Seriously, go all over crypto Twitter, and all those fucking knob gobblers out there are like, bro, big news from XRP Las Vegas. No, nothing really big came out of it, other than Brad Garlinghouse saying, let's work together with the Bitcoiners. What? I still can't believe we heard that. I still cannot believe it. Let's go to those candlesticks, though, everyone. All right, we're going to go to the 15 minutes. You can see what I'm talking about right here. Yep, we got a little bit of support action. Not much here, right around the 212 mark. The reality is that soft support, because the volume was jack shit compared to what we needed in the past. Got to keep an eye on that 208 levels. We got to see what happens with the gold market tonight, because if the gold market roars, that tells you that players are going to be looking more at the store of value play. BTC is a store of value play, the digital store of value play. XRP got rejected several times here at that 220 mark. You can see the candlesticks right here on the 31st of May and right here as well. So 220 the high, 208's the low. You know what my range is. And Brad wants to work with the Bitcoin community. Dude, hell hath frozen over. So what's up with the turn the other cheek approach from Brad? Or am I totally missing something? But he's like, yo, let's work together. Let's not look at them as our enemies. And then all of a sudden you got Saylor, who wants to go on Rogan, and you know what's going to happen. He's not going to sit there and go, yo, we should work with the Ripple crew. No, he's going to be like, yo, it's BTC or bust. Look at every post on Twitter from Saylor. It's BTC or bust. The rest of it's BS. What happened, everyone? This is not what I was expecting to see this morning. And I got to be honest with you, I'm shocked. And I don't know if it's a good thing for Saylor going on Rogan or not. Because you know what? Saylor is a slime ball, and he might convince more people to go into the BTC max season world. But then again, Rogan is really good at breaking people down. But let me know down below, would you like to see Saylor on Rogan? Do you think Rogan will be able to cut through his BS? And what do you make of Brad saying that we shouldn't look at the BTC players as enemies and then we should work together with the stuff? Saylor sure as shit doesn't think so. This is messed up, I say. I really don't know how to feel about this. But I do know how to feel about morning after pizza. Pretty tasty. I finished it all while I was doing segments. Choo-choo what? Choo-choo bitches, girlfriend.